We had a day around the cattle yesterday, and one of our neighbours rang up. They were hoping to drill this themselves. It's a small seed cover crop, and his part didn't arrive for his drill, so we've had a little bit of rain the last few days. We've had 20 mil overnight one night, and the moisture's there, so he asked us to come and drill it, so we're just putting it in for him. It's a small seed, like oilseed rape is the type of seed. I'll show you in a little bit, but yes, we've had to just make sure, because when you're drilling small seeds, you look in my hopper, you know, there's hardly anything in there. So the rates are tiny. It's 5 kilos to the hectare, whereas when we're drilling something like wheat, we could be up near 200 kilos to the hectare. So yeah, tiny amounts of seed going on, but the seed's tiny as well. And also with the seed being so small and light, we actually don't need the fan running full bore. And what that'll do is, when the fan's running that fast, it sends it down the pipes really fast, hits the ground, then bounces out again. So we run the fan at a little bit less speed. That just takes it down the pipe, drops it on the floor. By the time I've used this field, I've got tiny little bags to use. I'll show you when I put the next lot in. We're calibrated at 4.62 hectares to the acre. That will cover our ins and outs. We should have enough for that. That will 11. You do your seed rate checks with that, and we can do that by this field is 11 hectares times 4.62, 50 kilos of product. That's what we should have put on. That's what we should have used for the whole field, but it'll be a little bit higher than that for our ins and outs. We've always got to account for that, and the picks and overlaps. And this field's a slightly weird shape, so you'll have quite a bit of double drilling at one end. So yeah, anyway, we should have enough, but we've got our tram lines on hold because we don't want to use those. So we just hold those on the tram line, and because the seed's so small, it doesn't even come up to the seed alarm, so you have to turn the alarm off as well, and then you're just watching it on here. So I'll show you on the big screen. That's the seed there, tiny little seeds. So anyway, by the time we've done this field, we'll see what we've used, and then we'll go from there, because I imagine he won't want any left. We were doing calibrations earlier, and the tiniest of turns on the calibration handle changes the calibration by a lot, and we got it pretty close, so we were relatively happy. They'll always tell you, oh, you've got so many acres and the rate should be this, but you always run short. So you always want to run just slightly under. If you've only just got enough seed to cover your area, you always run, it doesn't matter what it is, even if it's with wheat, barley, whatever, you always come a bit, you always need more than you think. Apparently it's turnips and cabbage stubble. So we've picked the drill up the ground a little bit, and we're just burying it just into the top bit of moisture. That's where we're aiming for. So anyway, a few pylons and odd shaped things in here, so just coming through I'll fill this area in now, and then we'll go back this way to fill the rest of the field in. But yeah, we're getting on all right. A couple of days this, we've got some grass seed to put in as well as another day's worth there, so might be on the drill just for a couple of days here, and then we'll be back to cows next week. This is the seed. What's it called? It's called Skyfall Hybrid Brassica. I think it's like turnips and cabbage or something for sheep. So the sheep will graze it all winter, then they'll spray it off, and then next year they'll have an arable crop afterwards. I think that's the sort of, I think that's how they sort of plan it. This field should use 46 bags, but I shall put in half. Look at them in there, they get static. I should put in half, and then later on I'll put in the other half, and it just makes sure that everything tallies up. But tiny little seeds, look at those, tiny. Now seed alarms though, look, it doesn't even reach the seed alarm. Look. Yeah, we made it to about 9 o'clock last night before we finished. Better day today, sunny day today. They're talking of some nice weather coming through, so Harry will be out here today rolling this in. We got this field half done last night. It's quite a big field, this one. It is, I think it is 23 hectares around abouts. I did mark it out, but I didn't do it right. Anyway, I got a few poles coming up, so I've got to pay attention. I'm gonna have to lift that arm for a minute. I'm using the marker arms, but there's no need. I haven't got the tram lines in or anything like that. Just gives you a visual gauge when you're coming in. But we've got a pole here. I don't know if it's all these poles. There's a hell of a lot of poles, electricity poles, and I've got a feeling they're high voltage ones. They run up to the village there, and they're playing a little bit of silly buggers with the GPS. Not bad or anything. You look up the scratch line. I just remember a couple of weeks ago it was a bit better than that, but you go underneath the pole and it just wanders away a little bit. So it must have an effect on how it works, but it's still way better than I would do by eye. Yeah, the boys will be out here rolling this down. They want to lock that moisture in now. They might even double roll it. I think Harry's going to borrow our set of rolls, and what they'll do is they'll roll around the headlands, and then instead of rolling 12 meters apart, they'll roll 6 meters apart, and that will mean everything gets double rolled then, and it will just lock the moisture in a little bit. And yeah, you know, everybody's afraid of capping it and wet weather coming, but there's nothing in the forecast for the next 2 weeks, and if this stuff gets away and follows the moisture down, it puts down a tap root. So it's pretty important that it you know, stays in the moisture. It's a little bit odd because we're having to it only wants to be planted at shallow depth, and up where it's fluffy it's almost it's sort of too deep, but down where it's rough and the top's dry, it's only just in the moisture. So it's a real challenge, and where it's been ploughed, that's causing havoc as well. It could have done with you know, it could have done with a leveler finish, you know, that Cultimax or another pass with a power harrow in a different direction. That would have made a massive difference. But anyway, we're here now, we're doing it, so we'll see how it goes. Got to pay attention now because I'm coming around poles. Right, we got a yeah, we don't come across many problems, but we've just had a, I don't get too close because at the minute, yeah, this is a pretty big one. I don't know what's happened here, but all I can see is yeah, the wheel studs. No, I haven't touched nothing. Tractor's resting on its, oh Jesus Christ. At the moment the whole bloody tractor is resting on the wheel, so I shouldn't be really stood round here. Oh dear me, what a mess. I've never seen that happen before. Anyway, farmer and the guys are coming. We've got to we'll have to get this tractor jacked up. I daren't get anywhere near it. It's sheared off its studs, look. But why? That's sheared every single stud. That is not good news. Anyway, we'll have to get something under it to jack it up. get the studs replaced and go from there. Look at the bloody damage it's done to that guard, look. I thought the drill had fell off. I thought the top link had let go when I started turning. I wonder what's caused that. And this is ploughed land, so getting that jacked up is going to be a nightmare. Oh man, and we're not quite finished yet, so that's just spoilt the day. Right, dearie dearie me, I don't know what we're going to do there. And I ain't been thundering along either, so I'm a little bit shocked by that. We got to fix it. The guys will come over with the gear and yes, I've put the drill down on the floor, so that'll just it will just stabilize things a little bit. We'll get a jack in there and get it safe, and then oh, the damage, look, damage to the panels. I don't know. Here we are, a couple of hours later. Let's say 3 hours, eh? I'll tell you what, I don't know, I sometimes wonder if Farmer's in the right job, because watching him do stuff like that just mesmerises me. Him and Darren come and have a look. They got the tractor up off the wheel using blocks. We were the right side of the field, the hard side of the field. The top end's really soft. I don't know if we'd have got on so well, but anyway, they jerked it right up and got the wheel off. What they suspect happened was the wheel nuts come loose, and yes, I don't know, I just think I would have felt the wheel wobbling on the road. Oh man, it beggars belief. Anyway, it happened at the right spot, at the right time, doing the right speed. Earlier in the morning I was doing 50k down the road with it, and I think we've got unbelievably lucky. It happened at the end of the field when we're not doing, you know, when you're turning, you're doing your slowest speed. So yes, unbelievably lucky, even though it's happened. Why the wheel nuts came undone, don't know. Were they torqued right? Can't remember. We did 3 or 4 that day, so it could just be one side that one of us forgot to torque up, and it could be that simple. And I hope it's not, because anyway, what's done is done. It's ripped the wheel arch apart. Right, so yeah, we're drilling manually now. Harry's catching me up as well. We lost about 3 hours there. I should be done and dusted home. That's super annoying. We will go through the tractors as well, just out of caution. Check all the other tractors just in case we missed any others, or simply they've come loose after changing wheels, blah blah blah. So yes, very very annoying. Yeah, I can't believe I've missed it this morning looking tractor over. I must not have done a very good job, but there we go. We'll leave it there on this one. We're going to get this finished for Harry. He's on the rolls behind us, getting it rolled down. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.